welcome back to AFC, Action Figure Captures. Today's video I'm actually really excited for because it's actually the very first time that I'm receiving a set of figures that I actually helped to do a bit of work on. So first off, I'd like to thank Ace from Ramen Toy for asking me to help take part with this in my own small way. And I also want to thank Nelson Chen and Mega J Retro for actually originally introducing me to Ace and having me do some work with them previously on some edits of some prototype figures they had worked on. And thanks to Jay and to Nelson, I was able to meet Ace, and I'd shown Ace some work that I had done on some of their prototype figures just through Photoshop editing, and I was working on the eyes to try and kind of colorize the figures. And when he had seen the work I was doing, he seemed quite happy with it, and he actually messaged me asking me if I'd be interested in helping design the eyes for a few figures. The first was the Quicksilver figure from the upcoming Silverhawks release, and I was thrilled and amazed to be asked, and of course I said yes right away. And the second set was the 80s Commanders version 80s set, the 3-pack that's just been released recently. And so I was sent a copy of the figures today, and they've a short while ago, and they've just arrived today. So I'm thrilled to see how they turned out. And I just wanted to point out, by the way, Ramen Toy has done an incredible job with everything they've worked on. They've done such a great job with just the actual sculpting, and the people behind the sculpting of the figures are incredible. The artwork that's being provided by the different artists that are involved in the projects, and of course this overall creativity of just how they've designed these figures and found ways to make them work, like with the magnets and the Quicksilver figure for the mounting of the Tallyhawk and everything. They've done a lot of great work just designing everything. And for a company that's just, you know, a few projects in, they've done an incredible job. They're extremely responsive. They're releasing a great deal of products that people have been asking for, and they've done just an amazing job just trying to hear what the fans have to say and doing the best they can to meet the fans' expectations, and also just kind of put their own twist on things and make sure that they're putting a product that they're happy with. And that's all you can really expect of these companies. I mean, they're working very hard. They're basically doing the best they can, and just keep in mind you're supporting a company that's actually just starting up, and they've done such an incredible job. So like with all the updates and all the info they're providing to make sure that everyone knows what's happening and where things stand, and just the lines they're listening to with the fans where they've asked for different characters from different series, and they've actually been releasing things that were previously unreleased and all kinds of things. They're doing such an incredible job, guys. Continue to support companies like this, especially with Ramen, because Ramen Toy Story, they've done such an incredible job just basically putting all these things together and making things happen for us. So please make sure you appreciate that. One thing I want to point out again, just the next thing I want to point out is how incredibly well packed the shipment is. You can see how they've wrapped it. It's actually completely wrapped in bubble wrap on the outer box, and they've also wrapped it with tape just to make sure that it's completely secured and everything should be safe. I haven't had the chance to open it yet because I want to do it on camera, but I just wanted to show you exactly how it arrived at the moment, and I've just got to now take time to cut into this and try and get it out of all this wrapping. But they are doing their best to make sure that your shipment arrives in good condition. Okay, let's try and get all that packaging off and get to the next step. Okay, so here we are. We actually have the mailer box basically set to be opened. I'm just going to cut this guy open in just a moment. I just want to show you again how well packed everything is and how secure everything seems to be. So let's cut this guy open and see what we got. Once again, thanks to Mega J Retro. Make sure to check out his YouTube channel. He does a lot of great reviews and does a lot of toy hunts and recommendations and reviews on figures and everything. Make sure to check him out. Great guy, great channel. Make sure to support these guys. Keep their channels going. And of course, please support ours as well. If you haven't had the chance to, please like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. And I'm just cutting the box open off camera. Sorry, guys. I will get back in the camera in just a second here. Okay, so once again, they've taken extra precaution to making sure the box is actually secure. So they've actually placed a piece of cardboard here in front of the box. And oh, look at that glorious artwork. That looks incredible, guys. That is such beautiful work. I was asked if it was possible that I could design something like this. My strengths are more in photography and a bit of graphic design work. So I was not able to do anything this beautiful. The artist behind this did an incredible job, and I will make sure to find out who he is and make sure to tag him in the comments below. Wow, just gorgeous. Once again, really well packed, really well protected. The box art looks incredible. Let's get that box out of the way. Let's get this wrap off. Oh, wow. These are gorgeous, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Absolutely incredible. They did such a great job with this. The packaging is incredible. Look at that. Wow, such a great job. The figures are so well presented, just the way they're actually posed in the packaging. You can see that you have, of course, the Naval Commander. You've got your Aerial Commander and your Land Assault Commander there as well. They did such a gorgeous job. This thing has some incredible weight to it as well. Like, they've done a lot of really nice work on these figures, and just that artwork again, just the way it's cut out and everything. They do such an incredible job. I'm so excited to see how these turned out. My part in this, by the way, was I did some of the prototype colorization photos and some of the graphic photos that you see on the website, but I also did design the eyes for each of the 3 figures. And like with the previous release in the original color scheme, they looked incredible. Some people weren't thrilled with the head sculpts originally, so Ramen, listening to the fans, went back and had them redone, and they went and they listened again to the fans. They did the original color scheme, and quite honestly, I kind of prefer the original colors they used. I like that darker green and the blues and the yellows that were used on the original release of the figures, because I liked how it looked a little more realistic and wasn't quite so neon. But I do love this set as well. This looks great as well, and I do appreciate the original color schemes. But with the head sculpts, some people weren't too thrilled with the fact that, you know, they didn't look as much like the characters as they were hoping for. And they also didn't like that they had to swap the heads out with the helmets, because they actually didn't fit directly over the characters' heads. You had an alternative head, and I thought that was a brilliant idea, because a lot of the time when they make these heads, they either look way too small and then the helmets look way too big, or they basically, you know, it's always one or the other. Either the heads look like peanuts and they're so small, or the helmets are just gigantic and they look so out of place. So what Ramen did initially was that they shipped it with a second set of bald heads, so that they fit into the helmets and they stayed in scale with the figures' bodies. And I thought that was brilliant, and I thought it was such a great idea. In this case, they found a way to do the sculpts and keep them in scale, and still now you have helmets, because they redesigned the helmets as well to make them more show accurate, so they had more of a different appearance. Again, I prefer the initial releases helmets because I like the designs of those, but I do like that these look more like the show as well. Again, it's more a matter of choice and a matter of taste. I think both sets are incredible. And these ones now, actually, with the scale of the helmets and the heads that they've actually done, you don't need to swap the heads any longer. They actually stay as they are, and you just pop the new head, or sorry, the new helmets over the heads that are currently on the figures. Okay, well, let's just take a look at the box here. So of course we have the front of the box. You have your 3 characters, the incredible artwork. I love the logo, the design, everything is just really well done. Give you a shot of the side of the box here. So this, the artwork continues to the side of the box. You have the Ramen Toy logo and of course your product codes in case you want to order these guys. They are incredible so far. And again, that great artwork on the back. And the illustration actually is by Gabriel Garcia. Or sorry, Roberto Gabriel Garcia, forgive me. So he is credited on the box, and he did an amazing job. Like, this is beautiful. Like, just, you can tell they're taken directly from the figures, or at least the original artwork of the figures, because they actually have the Ramen Toy look to the designs, and just, wow, it's just beautiful. I really love what they've done, and the artist is incredible. So talented. And again, the other side of the box there, same information, the product code, the actual 80s Commanders version 83 pack information as well. And then of course we have the top of the box again with the 80s Commander logo, the version 80s logo as well, and then of course the product information. Okay, let's open these guys up and take a look at what we got inside. Okay, so here we go. Let's cut this guy open and take a look. So you can see that the insert in the back is almost like a mirror effect, and they did such a great job with that too, because that looks incredible too. You have that really shiny reflective material that they're using in behind. Really nice quality packaging, so well designed. I love the idea of just everything about this design. They did such a great job with it. The cardboard is a nice thick cardboard. It's not like a cheap thin cardboard that tears easily. It's really well made. Wow, very happy. They did such a great job. You definitely have to pick this up if you're a Centurions fan. You know, that is what they're paying homage to. And these look incredible, guys. So let's just take a look at everything that you get inside here. So of course, in the blister pack, we have the 3 figures prominently displayed with all their accessories in behind. And we'll take a look at that lower tray in a second. Now, the incredible thing about these figures is they did such a great job where you have all the accessories, of course. You have all the standard weapon unit parts, or the weapon system parts for the initial release of the figures, and then you get a nice set of hands. And I took previous shots of these figures when they did the first initial wave with the prototype figures, working with Mega J Retro, and he had asked me to kind of take some photographs and colorize them and try and bring them to life that way. And they were incredible back then, and I love the fact that you have the interchangeable hands, and the hands they chose, the way they're sculpted, look brilliant. You've got, as you can see, the aerial commander there with basically in the saluting pose. So you've got that open palm pose. He's actually got open hand poses. He's got a kind of a gripping hand pose, and you've got the fists as well. So you get a large number of hands with each figure. And you also get like that details. All the details are just fully like realized. The armor looks incredible, the way it's sculpted. The actual weapon parts, everything looks incredible. They did such a great job with this, and I'm loving the detail. And the new helmets look incredible. The original helmets, I love the design of them. They did look quite similar to each other, but I mean, again, it's meant to be a weapon system and a battle armor you set, so it made sense. But I get that the individual characters did have, you know, their own individual helmets, and they've addressed that, and they've made these new helmets to, you know, address the new the actual original characters and their individual looks. So let's take a look at the lower tray. Or actually, first off, let's take a look at removing that first tray, and we'll quickly take a look at the figures. Oh, actually, sorry, I will show you the weapons tray first. So that's actually the accessories packed up, and you can see how incredible that looks. They've laid everything out perfectly. Every unit is in with itself. So basically you have the Naval Commander's accessories and units on the one side, the Aerial Commander in the center, and the Land Commander on the right here. And just the amount of detail, the paint apps, everything is just beautiful. It's such a great job. And I love that they paid even the smallest details there, where they've actually painted the silver on the antenna. You've got your rocket, which is actually different color from the actual launcher. You know, everything is just done like immaculately. They did such a great job with this. Okay, so let's move this guy away for a second, and we'll move back into the 3 figures. So I'm just going to remove the upper packaging carefully so we can get a look at this. I've been so excited to see how these came out and how the little bit of work that I did on these guys actually turned out, because I've been wanting to see them in the finalized product for a long time now. And actually the release time turnaround on this was actually incredible too. Whoa, sorry, there went Max. Oops, sorry, there went the Naval Commander. But they took so much care in like doing this, and just the amount of detail on them and everything. And even when you're actually taking the figures out, you can see that display with the helmet, they actually used plastic between the figure's arm and the actual body of the figure and the helmet, just to make sure that you didn't actually get damaged, you know, product from the actual wear through shipping and everything as well. Like, just they put a lot of care into this, and they did such a great job with everything. So I'm just going to stand the Naval Commander here for a second. I'm going to put his helmet down here beside him. And just looking at the head sculpt, it's brilliant. They did such a nice job Everything looks beautiful. I'm hoping that's in focus, everyone. Just trying to get a better angle here so you can see the face. But like they've done such a great job. The actual painting of the hairlines and everything, I love the way it's actually just got that sort of, you know, it's kind of like a more of a matte look. The eyes turned out really well. I'm very happy with how they turned out. I think they look pretty incredible. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to bring that close enough for you to see that clearly, but they did a really nice job on the eyes, and everything just looks brilliant. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to get that to focus here. I'm not sure if we're getting that, sorry, but yeah, just such a brilliant job. They addressed the mustache. They made it look more like the original character with this new head sculpt. It has that sort of Tom Selleck look to it now. The armor is gorgeous. The posability on these figures is incredible, guys. Like double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. The waist is a little more limited, but again, it doesn't really hinder the poses you can get. Like you get some really incredible poses out of these figures, and they look so incredible. Like just everything about this just screams quality. The plastics are very nice quality. The joints are nice and tight. The details are solid. Everything is just there. And I mean, I'm sorry if I sound like I'm just kind of tooting their horn for them, but like this is actually really well done. I really love these figures so far. What we'll do is I'll start getting them out of the packaging, and we'll start putting on the weapon systems. So we'll start taking the other two guys out of the packaging, and then we'll actually work on putting the helmets and everything on top of them as well. Here we have the three commanders here with the packaging, of course, and just that beautiful saluting pose and everything, and just all three characters with their full battle systems on. Just incredible detail. I love it. It's just so well done. You can see just all the work put in. It's so beautiful, guys. Wow. I just wanted to point out again the amount of care they put into packaging these figures. As you notice, the Aerial Commander, they've actually wrapped the saluting hand in its own plastic to make sure it didn't actually damage the paint on the face of the figure, and they've also put the plastic in between the helmet and the body of the figure again to make sure that no damage is done to either. They took a lot of care in this set, put a lot of thought into everything they designed, everything from the figures designs to just the packaging and the artwork and everything. And just the way it's actually packed and presented in the packaging, they put in so much work and so much effort, guys. I hope you really appreciate this when you get your sets, and just all the care they put into it. A lot of companies don't seem to put anywhere near that level of care anymore. They just kind of throw it in a packaging with some twist ties, and that's it. And you know, you see the damage on the products when you receive them. There's zero damage on these figures that I can see. There's no paint issues, there's no scratches, no issues at all, which is a rarity with a lot of figures nowadays. You don't really get that. I can't think of the amount of figures I've bought and been disappointed because like when I open them up and take them out, there's either blotchy paint or, you know, scratched paint apps or some kind of damage that was done. They took care on everything here, and these are really clean paint apps, and they're well protected due to the packaging job. They did such a great job. Hey, so here we have the three commanders outside of the packaging with their helmets, and again, they look beautiful. The head sculpts are incredible. They've done such a great job. The paint apps are immaculate. The details are all there. Everything looks terrific. One thing I love about the helmets, and it was like amazing that they actually took the time and made a point of doing this, is that with the original 80s toys, they had those big rubberized helmets that looked kind of off-shaped and were kind of not so hot, and they've actually sculpted them in a solid plastic, of course, but what they've also done that is incredible is they've added visors to the actual helmet. So you have this clear plastic that goes over the eyes of the figure, and you know, suggests that they at least have some kind of protection for their eyes, which you didn't get in the original figures. And it's a clear plastic, so you can see the figure's faces directly through the helmets, which is incredible. It's just such a great way of having done it, and it looks beautiful. Now at this point we're going to move into getting the accessories out for each of the characters, and we'll start with the Naval Commander and move into the Aerial and then the Land Commander, and I'll just set up their weapon systems and you can see how everything looks and how well you can pose these figures. Here we go. So here we have the Naval Commander with his accessories, and you can see his weapon system. You get the missile launcher for the backpack, and the missile is actually removable, and it's actually in there with friction, and it's in there nice and solid, as you can see. It won't fall out. You can shake this as much as you like and it's not coming out, but you can remove it through friction. So really well done, really well tooled, and it fits in perfectly. You've got the scuba tanks, and the amount of detail that's actually sculpted on these guys is great. It looks beautiful. You've got the jet propulsion, or the turbines for the legs to help carry them forward while underwater. You've got the blaster slash fin, and you've also got the second blaster, which will go onto his arm as well, or possibly other parts depending on where you want to mount it. And they're made of a softer rubber, but it doesn't actually affect anything. It's actually still nice and solid, and the details are beautiful. The way it's sculpted, nice thin, clean looking lines on these guys, like really beautifully done, and they look great. So let's start by putting on his helmet. So we're going to grab the figure, of course. Now the helmet just splits in two, as you can see. You're just going to separate that in half, and then you're going to line the back half of the helmet up with the back of the head, of course, just like so. And just goes on there, as you can see, like that. And then you're just going to do the front of the helmet, and it pegs in with a little post here at the side, and you're just going to peg those in together, and there we are. And you have your Naval Commander with his helmet on, which looks beautiful. It's so well done. It looks incredible. You can see the face straight through the visor. It looks really, really nice. I'm not sure if that's showing up in the video. I hope it is, but it's really, really well done, and you can see everything clear as day. So let's start again by putting on his accessories. So first thing I want to do is I want to swap out one of the hands. So I'm going to show how easily that is. You just literally kind of give it a bit of a tug, and it's on there nice and tight. Just take the one hand off, and we're going to swap it for the open palm. I love the way these palms look, and you're just going to peg that back in place. And again, you can hear the friction, so it's really well done. And I want to make sure everything's on there nice and tight. Just going to make sure I can get that on there right and without damaging him. There we go. And I love this open palm, just because the range of poses you can get with him with that open palm look. I don't know what it is about open palm figures that I like, but I just love the way that looks. I think it looks incredible. Now the ankles are on a bit of a pivot, so you actually can kind of have him standing with his legs spread and basically have him standing in this pose. And he balances really well. There's no problems with how well they balance. Just again, I love the way these figures actually pose, and I've done the previous shots as I mentioned, and even with the prototypes, it was amazing how even with a little bit of limitations without having an ab crunch and so forth, they still looked incredible in all the poses you could do with them, and they were beautiful in the photos, so they're really well done. So here we go. We're going to peg on the backpack, or the scuba tank, sorry, and again they just go into the ports through friction, and you're just going to kind of put it on there and just press it in. You can hear the friction going in there. It's really nice. Nice and tight. They've actually made sure that all the parts are tight, and you can see you have all your different ports on the back of the pack as well. You're just going to line that guy up with the next set, plug that guy in, and there's the naval pack. On the back, we're going to basically put the propulsion on his legs. Sorry about doing this behind the camera, guys. I just wanted to kind of make sure I was out of the way. Not sure if it's working out the way I wanted it to, but I'll get this guy together as quickly as possible. I'm just going to peg this guy into the center of the chest, and then we're going to put the blaster onto his left arm. And you can pick your ports, of course. You have a number of ports that you can actually choose to put them onto. I really love the way this works out because it looks incredible when they're actually all together. And then you're just going to kind of set him up in this pose. And there we go. That is beautiful. They did such a great job. I love this pose especially. I love the way all the weapons look. Everything's just really well done. Again, I wasn't really big on the original 80s colors, but now seeing this set, I do like it a lot more than I thought I would. And I do still love those original colors that Ramen Toy released in the first wave of these figures, but I do really like this set as well. I like how vibrant everything is. It looks really great. I still do like that modernized, sort of realistic look to the deeper gray or sort of deeper greens that they used on the figure originally. But yeah, just beautiful. Okay, let's move on to the Aerial Commander. So next we have the Aerial Commander and with his accessories, and you can see that great looking saluting hand, just so you have that open hand with the palm, just doing that salute. Looks incredible. I love that they included that, because I think it'll look great having them in poses where they're all saluting. You have his jetpack, of course, with the blaster on the back. You've got the jet boosters. You have his missiles, and then you have, of course, the main pack for the chest plate, or depending on where you want to put it, with the two blasters on it, as well as the larger missile. And it all looks incredible. Again, extremely well sculpted. Sorry for the camera moving there, guys. But it's all incredibly well sculpted. You can see all the details in there. Just the paint apps are so nice. It's so well done again. Really love it. So let's get to putting this guy together. So once again, friction ports. Gonna plug the pegs in the back for the backpack. Line everything up. Just plug them on in. There we go. The propulsors, I like them on the back, although they can go on the legs, so you do have that choice where you can either plug them in on the legs or on the back of the backpack. I kind of prefer them on the backpack, on the wings of the jetpack. And the wings are retractable, so you can lower them and raise them, which I thought was a really nice touch as well. Really well done. And then now we have the missiles, of course. I'm just going to peg those into the forearms. Sorry for getting too close to the camera there, guys. Okay, so there we go. And then, of course, the chest plate. And again, it's a single peg. Just pick your poison, plug it in, and you're all set. And then now you have the Aerial Commander in his flight pose. And he looks incredible. It's just beautifully done. Everything just pegs in perfectly. Everything's nice and tight. It looks incredible. Sorry for being out of frame, guys. I'm trying to do this just behind the camera, but just to give you an idea how great that all looks. Hoping that's in focus for you. But yeah, really well done. I love the poses you can get with these guys. They're just incredible looking. There we have him in just standing stationary pose here. Just gotta make sure I got his legs balanced before I let him go. And there we go. Yeah, just beautiful. So well done. Really, really incredible. Again, such clean paint apps. The details on everything, just the actual hands themselves. They've got the knuckle joints all sculpted out, and just the actual fingers are like a nice, perfect looking sculpt. It sounds weird to say, but like the hands are just so well sculpted and everything. And the details on the armor, everything is just perfect. The helmets look great. I'm really happy with how those helmets came out. Again, the eyes, which is what I worked on, I think they did a beautiful job with how the eyes came out as well on these new figures. Yeah, really, really nice. Okay, let's move into the Land Commander. Last but certainly not least, we have the Land Commander. And here you have his Gatling turret in the front. You've got his arm cannon there in the back, just behind that there. You've got his antenna for his backpack. You've got his rocket launcher with missile, and the missile actually will come out. And you can actually have it firing. And it just goes back into friction, and it will stay put again. No problems there. And then you have what I believe is a little floodlight for when he's actually kind of battling in the dark and needs a little extra light. So let's start mounting these guys. Okay, so basically with these guys here, you start with the backpack, of course. You're going to plant that on the back, like so. The antenna is just going to plug in the back here, just on the top post. There we go. And then the rocket launcher can either be pegged onto his forearm if you choose, or you can obviously plant it on the back, anywhere you like. For now, I'm just going to plant it on the back of the backpack, so just like so. And then the floodlight plugs into his shoulder here. So you're just going to kind of swivel this guy around, and we're going to plant it in the shoulder, like so. Oops, forgive me, I'm trying to get this in here. This is very tight, guys, so just be very careful with this one. This one's a little tighter than I expected, so I'm just going to have to go a little easy on this. But they made these nice and tight. Just going to be very careful. There we go. So we got that in. And then now we have, of course, the chest Gatling gun and the arm blaster. And once again, there's a large number of ports all over the body, of course, the arms, the legs, everywhere, so you can port anything anywhere you like it. I'm just putting it where I prefer it, and generally where I think it normally goes when you're receiving the show and everything. But there we have the Land Commander. And again, it looks brilliant. The details sculpted on the figure. Everything is just gorgeous. Sorry, I'll move the camera over a little bit there. We'll zoom out a little bit just so you can see everything. Just gorgeous. Like just the way you can pose these guys and just how incredible they all look. Everything is so well painted. The details are incredible. They've done such a nice job with this set, guys. Make sure to order this. You're really going to enjoy it. I believe they're still available on Ramen Toy's website. And you can obviously check them out on Facebook as well as Instagram. And you can see everything they have to offer. They've got a large number of releases coming up. They're working on the Antagonist Cyborg figure. They're working on the Land Drone, also from the 80s Commanders line. They're working on their first in their series of retro series figures from the 80s Commander line, which is actually the Apache Commander, which was a previously unreleased figure that a lot of people were hoping for and it was sought after, and it's still very sought after. And they're making it with a motorized assault weapon pack where the figure will actually spin when on the backpack. It looks beautiful, guys. It's going to be incredible when it comes out, and that's going to be in a larger scale at just over 7 inches. More in format with the original 80s releases, and then if that goes well, I believe they actually have plans to release it also in this same scale to go along with this series of Commanders as well. However, I don't believe the backpack will be motorized, but we'll see where that goes, and I believe it's just going to be a smaller scale figure with the unmotorized backpack if that comes to be, as long as the original release sells well. So make sure to support this stuff, guys. This is a company that really wants to put stuff out for the fans, and they're doing such an incredible job. Support this. they're so incredible. The guys are great to deal with. They've done such incredible work so far. You've also got their Silverhawks figures coming out, and those are officially licensed through Super 7. And you have Quicksilver and Monstar coming out. Those both look beautiful. Again, I did the eyes for the Quicksilver, so I'm looking forward to seeing him as well when he's released. And that's, I believe, coming out towards the end of June, early July. So that's another one that's coming. Monstar looks incredible. They're all in this nice metallic colors, and they look like proper Silverhawks figures. And the Super 7 stuff looks beautiful as well. It's more cartoon accurate looking. The Ramen Toy take is more of a realistic, or sorry, a somewhat more realistic look. So they are two entirely different sets of figures, and they both did such an incredible job on them, guys. Check out both. I love the Ramen Toys design because I love that modernized look and like that more realistic look. It's so well done. And the animated ones look great as well, though. Like, I mean, Super 7 did an incredible job with their set of figures as well. So keep an eye out for all those Silverhawk figures that will be coming soon. The other thing that they're working on is the Machina line, which is basically their homage to Mask. And they're doing all the gimmicks of the original release of the, I want to say it was the Thunderhawk, which was the Gullwing sports car, and they're doing their take on that, and it looks incredible. The gimmicks on everything are there. It will actually drop the missiles. It's got the whole spring-loaded doors and everything on the car. The figures that'll be included will be in scale with the vehicles, so they're going to be a 1/24 scale figure to fit inside the vehicles, which looks incredible. And the actual sculpting looks so much nicer than the original figures that came out in the 80s, because they've come such a long way with the way they can sculpt these figures and just the details you get. They're just so incredible, guys. So like, that's basically a rundown quickly on what's coming out from Ramen Toy, sorry, and there's so much more coming too, and they're doing such a great job, and they're putting this stuff out extremely quickly based on it being a smaller company, and the quality of the product is just incredible. Like, it's so much nicer than a lot of the stuff you're getting from the North American companies and the larger companies, because they're just pumping out so many copies of these figures, where the smaller companies are focused on making things look as good as possible, and they're a bit more of a limited run, so they are a little more expensive because of it, but the quality that you're getting is just so different than what you're getting in a standard mass release. It's just so well done, as you can see. Like, just the details you're getting on these figures you don't really get on the North American stuff. And I love the clear visors, the actual head sculpts are so nicely done, as you can see. They did such a great job with the sculpting and everything. It's beautiful. It's just so well done. They painted the lips. You've got just definitely pick these guys up. That's all I can really say. They've done such a great job. I'm going to move into taking photographs now, and I'll get some photographs tied into the video as well. And you can see how great these look. It's a little hard to show them off in the video here. I may throw these guys on a turntable quickly in the video so you can see them in 360 and get a feel for how they look in a 360 view quickly, and then I'll move into actually putting in some photographs so you can see the details and just how great these things look. They did such an incredible job, guys. Support these manufacturers so they keep this stuff going, so we get the things that we wanted that we didn't get when we were younger, of course. We got these things, but just not to this level. Like, these are just gorgeous. And yeah, just again, these companies are doing a great job with these third-party releases, because you don't really get the sort of level of quality on a lot of the mass release products. And it pushes these other companies as well to make better products on top of that. So just make sure to support these companies, because if you really want that really nice take that you wanted to see on these characters that you never really got in previous releases, this is the way to do it right now. And the companies are doing such a great job of it. And I mean, I'm just thinking some of the old Transformer releases from some of the third-party companies and how great they all looked, and the amount of detail, and the transformations were just so much more advanced and everything. They did such an incredible job with a lot of that stuff, and it pushed companies to make better versions of their own products to kind of show that they appreciate what the collectors want, and then the level that they're expecting the product to be, or hoping that the product will be. I can't say expecting, because you should never expect it, but just you're hoping for as good a product as possible, and these companies are doing that. So make sure to support all of this, guys. Okay, so I'm going to move into throwing these guys on the turntable, I believe, just to give you a quick 360 view of each of the figures, and then I'm going to move into some photographs, and we'll get this video piece together, and we'll get this up for you as quickly as possible. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Make sure to support Ramen Toys. Make sure to check out Mega J Retro's Facebook page and his YouTube channel and everything else as well. He's a great guy to deal with, and you'll really enjoy his videos. He does a great job. Check out all the Ramen Toy pages as well, and just pre-order your items and get in there and get these guys while they're available. You definitely won't regret it. They're incredible. And thanks again to Nelson Chen for introducing me to everyone to begin with. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. Take care.